Hello, hello, hello to you. This is your girl Esha, Carnivalista in Chief with Events by Ashe, where we plan unique and life-changing Caribbean experiences. And today I am back with another Carnivalista interview, and I'm super excited because this is one of my favorite Caribbean business women on the planet, Ms. Erica Dixon. Erica, how are you? I will allow you to introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much again for the interview. My name is Erica Dixon, and I here in Durham, North Carolina. That's where I live. I've been here a long time. But I am the owner of eFit for Life, and that is fitness. And I always like to say I put the party in fitness, but I also teach classes that are like a boot camp style that may not be such a party, but all in all, it's all fun. I try to make it more relatable. Um, all fitness levels are welcome, and I teach both virtual and in person. Since COVID, been able to do that. I'm also a choreographer for Zumba, so that's where the party comes in. So a lot of my classes are dance fitness based, and they're fun. I mean, that's where the Caribbean, teach a lot of Caribbean style rhythms, Afro beats, hip hop, everything, all of the fun flavor filled, I like to call it, rhythms. In addition to that, and I'll end here, is I'm the owner of Unity Mass Band, which we're excited because we're going to be in Atlanta for Atlanta DeKalb Carnival for 2022. And Raleigh Carnival for 2020, Raleigh Carnival, which is called Carrot Mask, for 2022 as well. And that's my introduction.
Awesome. Awesome introduction. Yes, you are a busy woman and you wear many, many hats, which is, I think, is just amazing. I have no idea how you juggle it all, but I love it. I love it. And I'm here for it. All right, Ms. Erica. So, how did you find out about Trinidad Carnival?
Okay. I found out about Trinidad Carnival back in grad school, actually. One of my friends, at that time at NCCU, we had one of our undergraduate admissions recruiters was from Trinidad. And so during that time, we had a lot of students from Trinidad, and I was in grad school in charge of the fitness club. And a lot of the students that were in the fitness club were from Trinidad. So we spent lots of hours, early mornings, running, walking together, exercising, all of that. And I became close with a set of twins from Trinidad, and they were like, "You need to come to Carnival." Yada yada. I didn't know anything about it really at that time. And then again, as a choreographer for Zumba, one of the ZJs was from Trinidad, and she mentioned it years later and was like, "Oh, you need to do it." And I was like, "Oh, be it'd be amazing to do." But then I looked on the website, and I really didn't understand the exchange rate. So imagine seeing the dollar sign and not understanding. So I just let it go. And then again, through your company, the Ultimate Trinidad Carnival Experience, and one of my students introduced me to you because we had been doing Carnival in Raleigh, and she was like, "Yeah, you guys would be great. You just need to connect. I connect with you." And I was like, "Yeah, I want to go." So yeah, that's how I heard about it.
Wow. It's just so interesting, all of the different connections, right? Having going to school here in North Carolina, Durham, North Carolina, right? And having Trinidadian students there with you, telling you about Carnival, inviting you to come and, sharing their culture with you. I just think that is phenomenal. That's amazing. Awesome. So tell me about your first carnival experience. What was
Oh,
that like?
my first Trinidad Carnival
Your
experience, right?
first Trinidad carnival.
Yes,
Yes,
of
ma'am.
course. We gotta make it. Yes, because man, it was life changing. And I know that a lot of times people are like, "Well, what do you mean?" I guess because um, just being an African American here and not really traveling as much, and Americans in general, we don't travel a lot in as a whole. but not really having a general understanding of these cultural festivals, other than the ones that we do have here. Um, but what it meant, like the freedom of expression, the connection to slavery, how it connects us all back to Africa, some of the traditions, all of the traditions really, from the different other countries' influences on it, and how that came to be, and how the slaves rebelled. So it was about rebellion. So I just, you feel that when you can get it there, you feel all of that, and they do it in such a way. You're at events, and then you kind of start to get how the connections are there. So I would say, I mean, it was life changing. So the music, the food, the people, um, and the group that I was with, that actually was a great way to go. I can't tell you enough, because you made it so easy, because it's so easy to miss all of that if you're going and you have to deal with, because it's a lot to deal with. It's a lot, it just to get out of your hotel to find food, it's a lot. So I thank you for that, because it made the experience, it allowed me to see and to enjoy it to its fullest,
Mm.
without having to
Hmm.
worry about the traffic, the safety, uh, tickets. I mean, I can't even, all of the stuff. It's very
All the
hard to get
things.
all of it, because I'm gonna miss so many things. So I definitely want to say that. So yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful. So, and you're welcome, by the way. So and this, I'm probably going to ask the same question in a different kind of way. What really made you want to go to Trinidad Carnival? Like, what was if you had to pick one thing that you were like, this is the reason I have to go, what was that for you?
I want to say, I think it's the music, because I wanted to lean towards the costumes, but I was like, you know what? It wasn't costumes for me. It was the music, because I had already made a connection and fell in love with the music, and to know that this is why the music was made, and to go to the place that they're talking about and all the songs, and to go to the place that describes the feeling that they have when they're singing the songs, and the things they're doing while they're singing the song. Some of the things, the road, it made sense, the word road being used, the stage. So I knew all of these things in the lyrics, but I really didn't understand how it connected until I actually did it myself. So I would say,
Mm,
so yeah.
that's amazing. And of course, as soca music is it for me. I the happiest music in the world, girl. Listen.
It's the music, the music. Yeah.
Yes, and that's one of the things I always say about Trinidad Carnival in comparison to other carnivals. It is such a unique, chaotic blend of all of those pieces that come together at the right time of year that
Yeah.
many other carnivals don't have. It's like you have the excitement about the costumes that come together, a year in advance. Then
Yeah.
all of the new music that comes out leading all up to the pinnacle of Trinidad Carnival.
Mhm.
Then you have all of the food. Then you have all of the people who fly in. Then you have all of the unique events that are happening, because Trinis love to fet in any way, shape, or form, and you're just not going to find the same parties in other places. So it's just this unique melange, this mix of things that come together, and just it's Trinidad Carnival. And you try to explain it to others. It's hard to explain it to others if they've never been, first of all.
Very hard.
Sometimes I'm challenged explaining it to others if they've never experienced a Caribbean carnival and they've only been to North American carnivals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. It's just
Big
this
difference.
unique blend.
It's not even. It's so hard to describe to people that haven't been, because they don't really see it past the costumes. For some people,
It's true.
they don't even understand. Some of them don't even understand the difference between the soca music and dance hall, and all of the island sounds. They
Mm-hmm.
don't.
Mm-hmm.
but some people are stuck at the part of the costume, and I get why, because I was used to be one of those people. Okay, because
Mm-hmm.
I understand them. So I think that puts me in a unique position, because being that I'm not West Indian, I can understand that, because I have that perspective. I can empathize with people who are trying to understand, or they may say the wrong thing, or they may not get
Yeah.
it, so to speak. But even if you think you have it, like I said, my first trip to Trinidad made me a better band director. It made me a better instructor. It made
Mm-hmm.
it improved me, and it allowed me to improve in a lot of different areas that I didn't expect. Because once you have that perspective by being there, it
Mm-hmm.
changes the way you see things when you come back. Yeah.
Very true.
Hmm.
Very, very true. Because from my own personal experience, it was Caravana in Toronto, or Toronto International Caribbean Carnival, whatever it's called now, for many, many years. And I grew up in the Caravana culture. My grandmother used to play mass. My mom used to play mass. So, I knew Caravana for a very, very long time. And although I lived in Trinidad as a child, I took part in Kitty's Carnival,
Yeah.
and even that wasn't to play mass. That was to go down in Port of Spain and watch the costumes and go to the Calypso shows with my mom and go to Calypso Monarch and all of that stuff. So experiencing Trinidad Carnival after having Caravana for so long and then going to it as an adult, you're
Hmm.
right. It really shifts your perspective, because even after I went to Trinidad Carnival, my first one as an adult, I was 19 or 20.
Hmm.
Yeah.
As an
When I
adult.
came back, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
as an adult, I thought I was grown.
A young adult. Yeah.
I
Okay.
thought I was grown. But even
Right.
when I came back to Caravana, it was like, oh my goodness, this is so not the same. Like, it is not the same, completely different. You have similar aspects. You have the music, you have the costumes, you have the parade, similar, but there's something about Caribbean carnivals and Trinidad Carnival in particular that brings it together in a very unique way that is very challenging and difficult to duplicate in other places. Yeah, yeah.
Well, to me, one of the main reasons why it's hard to duplicate is because the entire country supports it.
Yes.
Now that
Yes.
we're talking about a place like maybe Toronto, maybe the city of Toronto supports it. Yeah, when I went to the airport, I saw costumes at the airport in Toronto because I went to Carabana.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, at least the city supports it, right? Me not knowing. Because in North Carolina, you have to figure out what's going on, right? But to go to a country where the entire country they shut down for it, it's
Yep.
I would say, to me, it reminds me of the biggest wedding that everyone is, the whole city, I guess, to compare it here, is getting ready to go to, because it's the biggest event and it happens every year, and you can be the bride. Everybody can be the bride.
Yep.
Everyone is going to put the time and attention into how they present themselves for this event. And they're going to spend money. They're going to do all of these things to celebrate as like we're all coming together. And it's very hard because we don't have anything. We do have, I'll get to that a little bit later. We do have something very similar, but the way that it's organized is totally different. Whereas you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to be the bride to enjoy it, you know?
Yes. Yes.
So,
I completely get that. And I usually use that analogy when potential clients come to me and they're like, well, I'm thinking about going to Trinidad Carnival, or I'm thinking about going to Brazil Carnival, Rio
yep.
for Carnival.
Yeah.
What's the difference? And really, Rio, I find, you cannot be as immersed in the parade as Trinidad is, because I mean they are serious. Those samba houses, they're like, look, we don't know you. We have our people. You could stand on the side and watch, right? But in Trinidad, you can buy a costume. You
And
are as you said, you are the bride, you are the parade. You can be completely and beautifully and blissfully immersed
Yep.
in the cultural celebration, you know? So I am completely down with that analogy. Yes.
That's kind of how I try to describe it. In comparison, and it's seasonal, meaning like, and then I also compare it to how, even though a lot of places celebrate Christmas the same way we do, right? But here, when the whole everything is about Christmas, all the music,
Hmm.
the decoration. So that's kind of how you would feel. You would feel the way we get the Christmas spirit here is the way they get the carnival spirit. And so
Perfect.
that's kind of how I say, now put those two things together, and that's the best thing I can do for you. Other than that, you got to go experience it for yourself. Um, but yeah, that was a great example, because I always say, like even how spectator being a spectator, where you can just kind of witness it, but you still, like, you don't really if you're not immersed, you're not going to get the full effect of it. So yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Perfect. Christmas. That's a good analogy too. Yes.
Yeah, but I try to use it sometimes, and people are like, well, everyone has Christmas. I was like, but in America, y'all know how we are about Christmas.
Right? I love it. Like let's be real. You
Yeah,
know, okay?
y'all know.
Oh, too funny. I love it. I love it. Well, you know what? That entire last 3-4 minute conversation pretty much answered my last question, or my second to last question. How does Trinidad Carnival compare, to other carnivals? I think we answered that between the both of us, so we're
Yeah,
good.
I would say Mardi Gras. I actually went to Mardi Gras because it's the same time.
Ah,
Year
yes.
after
Okay.
year that I did not go was my mom's um 70th birthday. So I went with y'all 17, 18.
Mm-hmm.
19 was my mom's 70th birthday, and she loves New Orleans. So she was planned a trip, and her birthday fell around the week before Carnival. So we
Oh.
were there, in New Orleans, the same thing. The week before Carnival is Carnival too. It's just, you can't convince me, because I haven't been during the week of Mardi Gras, but you couldn't convince me that was not it.
Right. It was no different.
She was like, I said, this is Carnival. This is Mardi Gras, man. She was like, no, next week. She said, multiply this stuff. I said, there's no way you can multiply it, because we're already walking down the street like this. She was like, no, multiply it by 10. I was like, so we went the week before, and there are lots of parades. They have the app, which is very similar to
Mm-hmm.
Trinidad, finding a locator for the different
Mm-hmm.
floats. I guess they
Mm-hmm.
have the floats. And yeah, they have their thing together. They've been organized for years and years and years. They throw the beads, but they also throw like these gifts and so forth. It's totally different. The setup's different. Uh, the symbol, they have similarities, but it's more of a spectator. You will enjoy it by not being in it, right? And I did
Yes.
see spectators when we were in Trinidad, but I was just like, y'all really, I mean, I was just trying to understand, because I'm like, what, you definitely want to be in it. Stormers, I guess, would be the equivalent of spectators, people who are trying to be in it but can't be in it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. You're
yeah, I did
absolutely
kind of
right.
that question. Yeah, that,
Nice.
yeah, okay.
Thank you. Yes. So tell me, what was your most memorable Trinidad Carnival experience, if you can pick one?
I was going to say, can I just pick two?
Yes.
Okay, because I can't, the one thing I would say, and there's a lot, and I had to really think about this. I would say Juve. Juve, being outside, completely covered in paint, and the sun rising. That moment the sun rises and you're out
Mm-hmm.
there and you actually get to see how crazy it is. What happened in the dark. I think that was just the weirdest. I don't know. It was just like, one of the this feeling of, man, like it was wild. It was wild. Just the first year, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Juve. And then the second one, because I could not um, leave this one out, was Crossing the Stage.
Mm.
Man, listen, I have been hearing songs about the stage and the stage and the stage and the stage until I crossed the stage, and it's like a couple minutes. But you just kind of got to go out there, and I think I just tried to go as hard as I could for those couple of minutes, and just the arrange how organized it all is, that. And I know that's probably a third thing, but from the business standpoint,
Yes,
my
yes.
business, the business of Carnival was the most memorable because from the tickets to the armbands and the detail of the meals and the days of the meals on the armbands and the bag and the even part of the process, because you guys took care of a lot of it, so that it would be much easier. But I still understood how there was an order. Like even
Mm-hmm.
the white party, I'll never forget, because I went to the white party the second time I went. And to this day, I still brag about how organized that. I said they had street signs at the party, okay?
They did.
They
Yes,
had
that's right.
at the party telling you which area you were going into, the amount of food, the labeling of everything. Even when we had our break for in the middle of Carnival, where we have our
Mm-hmm.
lunch, how organized the tents were with the food, and then they had the water tent, and then they had the pizza and the massage and the porta potties, how nice they were. And I hate porta potties, but listen, these were like professional.
They were upgraded, the bougie porta potties, as I like to call them.
And water and someone cleaning the facility constantly. I mean, those things to me from the business standpoint, I was like, man, and then a party that would how do you make a party fun from sun up to sundown? How does that happen?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So those types of things where you're like, okay, this is on a different level. We've never experienced anything like that. Because we'll go to a party it ends at 2, we'll get there at 12.
Yeah,
The
pretty
lights
much.
at 30.
Yep.
It's nothing.
Last call at the bar, Yeah, yeah.
There's no that's just, I don't think there's any comparison here. So I gave you a few. So
Yeah, yeah. And to even take that a little bit further, because of course I've been going to Trinidad Carnival for over 20 years now, right?
oh
Seeing where it has evolved
yeah.
from now till way back when, the very first year I played Mass was actually with Poison, which eventually
I heard
became
of
Tribe.
Poison.
In
Yeah.
1998, that was the year of Toro Toro with Marshall and
Oh yeah.
Shaggy. If you remember that song, yes, that was the same year. Footsteps, it was the same year too. But yeah, that was with Poison way back when, and there were no all-inclusive bands back then. It just was not a concept. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Probably a
man,
couple
I would
years.
love to hear that, because
Yeah.
I didn't even think of the evolution of. I know it has, everything evolves, but
Mm-hmm.
I would have just thought that this is how it is, how it's
That
been.
it's all an evolution. It's all an evolution. And bigger bands started with all-inclusive sections first. And
Mm-hmm.
then, a couple of years after that, when Tribe came out full force, and well, not full force, they were in their infancy at that point, and this was probably around 2002, 2003 time frame. That's when they announced that their band was going to be all inclusive, and that like was shockwaves throughout the Trinidad Carnival world, because nobody had ever done it before. They were experimenting with the sections. There was this person, he had his section, and that one was all inclusive, but the rest of the band wasn't all inclusive. And that's when things really started to evolve, because Tribe was like, okay, we are making the entire band all inclusive. And people were like, what? An all inclusive band? Tribe, really? Go sit down somewhere. But people liked it.
Yeah.
And it caught on, and that became the norm. right? And all of the larger bands started jumping on and saying, okay, well, we're going to be all inclusive too. And there were some bands that still held on to one section being all inclusive or doing an exclusive section kind of thing. But that's when the really big bands, it took hold and people were like, oh, this is great. Let's make the whole thing all inclusive. Right.
Oh,
So it's been interesting to see that evolution too, over 20 something years to see
yeah.
how things change. So thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. I mean, I know the music has evolved because I keep up with the music,
Yes.
just the whole business. And I did do some research about the historical, I guess it would be the historical like timeline
Mm-hmm.
as to uh, how it became commercialized,
Mm.
how
You mean soca music?
not soca music, the actual carnival,
Oh, yeah.
like in the 70s. I
Mm-hmm.
think it was that time period where,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
as far as and then it was only for the elite.
Yep.
And then you have like the gems and the feathers, how that came in. There's a book on it actually, and I was reading that whole section on it.
Mm-hmm.
That it was kind of trying to bring it together. I don't remember it verbatim, but I could always go back and reference it. But it was just um, looking at how it became more the commercialized, the tourist attraction that it is.
Yeah, it became a product essentially,
Right.
right? Carnival becoming a product, moving from I guess a cultural institution where it was more of a local thing and it was for the locals, and moving to an international product where they are now attracting tourists to come into the country for this specific event. Yeah, for sure. That has
Yeah.
definitely happened in the last 30, 40 years. Yeah.
Yep, yep. That's it. That's what it was. And so yeah. Well, I thank you so
Awesome.
much, girl.
Oh, you are so welcome. And thank you so much for this interview. It's always a pleasure talking with you. So tell the people watching how they can get in touch with you, my dear.
Yes, the best way to get in touch with me is on Instagram because I also have a link tree that has all of my access to everything that I do really in one stop shop. So my IG is at Z, as in zebra, J Erica with the CERICA Dixon Dixon, all one, at ZJ Erica Dixon. And if you want to check out my band, it's at Unity Mass Band. And that's Unity MASBAND. And that's it.
Yes, wonderful. And the costumes are gorgeous, honestly.
Oh,
They're always gorgeous.
she did such a great job. I was just on with her earlier. It's listen, it's gonna be always a challenge, but it's always beautiful once it all comes together. So I'm
Absolutely.
very excited about it. Yeah, very.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely.
Thank you so much for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
you are so welcome, and always a pleasure speaking with you. And you who are watching, if you want to get in touch with us, Events by Ashe, our website is trinidadcarnivalpackages.com. Again, trinidadcarnivalpackages.com. And remember, two things to remember: you deserve love, happiness, and travel. And as always, till the next line.